Hello, students. My name is Sonia Malik. I am your coding teacher and mentor. So, in this video, you will be seeing some complex for loop structure where you will be using two variables instead of one, right? How to run two variables for loop simultaneously, right? Okay. Wish you all the best. Thank you. Hello students, in this video we will be covering some more concepts of conditional statements and loops, right? What we will be covering in this part? Some more concepts of conditional statements and loops. Part 3, right? Part 3. Okay. Right, there are some more complex structures of for and while loops that we will be covering in this video, right? Okay, first topic for today is what if we want to simultaneously move two variables in a for loop, in a for or a while loop, right? In a for loop or a while loop, right? Previously we have studied what is the syntax of a for loop. How we did that concept? We declared some variable, suppose I, then we used a for keyword. Look at the syntax properly, because if you are clear with this, then only you can understand these further concepts. Like, okay, for keyword. So first I did declared a variable that is named as I. You can name this any, like you can name this variable with any name, like but with sensible name. IJ, A, B, like that. Alphabets like that. Okay, A to Z, like that. Okay. Okay. So what was the syntax that I taught you in the part 2? Write for keyword, then open round parenthesis. Open round parenthesis. Who lives inside this house? Three persons. Segregated, their house are separated by semicolon. Here, who lives? Initialization, right? See, I don't want to again and again teach you the for loop, but what I want to teach you is based on this concept. That's why once again I'm telling you this for loop wala syntax, right? Okay, so quickly we will be winding up with this simple for loop. Okay, who lives in this house? Conditional. Okay, and in the last house, unary operators, right? Clear? These three people live inside this house of for loop. Then what we used to do? We used to open curly braces. Then we used to print some statements. Print some statements, right? So what my main motive of this video is, earlier, like with my experience of programming, the questions I have solved, the coding questions and problems I have come across in my life, I felt that there is a need to teach me to you how to run a for loop simultaneously with two variables. You will be applying this logic in many questions in your journey ahead, right? That's why I'm teaching this. Okay. So you have noticed that earlier you were doing things with one variable, taking this I. So what you have learned till now, initializing it with some 0 or some 1. Condition, in condition what will come? I less than equal to something like 17, right? And what you replace this unary operators with? Who lived in this house? I plus plus. Because you're starting from low and you want to go to high. That is 1 to 17. That's why you're doing plus plus. Okay. Negative will take you to from high to low. 17 to 1. Right? Okay. Earlier, the syntax of print for loop was like this. Am I wrong at this? Let me run this code first. Okay. Cool. It is giving you from 1 to 17. It means this syntax is correct. Now, what I am going to teach you beyond this. Okay, pay attention to that. Okay, suppose I want to run two loops simultaneously. Suppose I want to have this kind of structure. I will give me this, j will give me this, then again 2 2. It means two simultaneous loops I'm running, two simultaneous loops and I'm running, right? 4 4, suppose 5 5, etc, etc. Suppose I have to run for loop with two variables. So how it is possible? How it is possible to run for loops with two variables simultaneously? How it is possible? This kind of pattern, how it is possible? So let me tell you this thing, right? So previously you were doing like this. Now what you have to do? Now what you have to do? Initialize two variables. Initialize two variables, right? Okay, how to do that? Firstly, define two variables. Suppose first variable is int I semicolon. In the next line, the second variable I suppose I defined int j semicolon. Now you will work with these two variables, right? Variable 1, that is your I, see my cursor. Variable 2, that is your j. Now, same way, write for keyword and create a house in the form of round parenthesis, round parenthesis. Now, as in this previous syntax, only I was initialized, but now you will also initialize j. Let me partition this house by some semicolons. By some semicolons, let me partition this house, right? Then we will reside persons inside it, this, okay? So earlier what you used to do is, you used to initialize just one variable, but now you will be initializing two variables, I and j. Let us say, suppose I want to print this pattern. Okay, suppose, so this is the value of I. Let me write here for clarity. This is the value of I, this is the value of j. So what is your I? It is starting from 1, it is going to 5 by the increment of 1. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It means plus 1 is happening every time. Same way, do like this. Initialize I with 1, see my code properly. I have initialized this I with 1 because I want to move my I from 1 to 5. In the second house, take this I to less than equal to 5, because you want to take it to the 5, right? In the third house, increment this I plus plus. Is there any doubt up to here? Is there any doubt up to here? Not doing anything, I'm just doing like this, the way I did with one variable till now. Okay, now you will say, then where this j will come, where this j will come in this simultaneous loop? You have to reside two persons in a single part of the house. I told you, these are the three parts of the house: first part, second part, and the third part. Now this part of the house is shared by two variables, so you have to initialize j here, you have to initialize condition for j, and you have to write unary operator for j, right? Okay, so how will you do this? Put a comma. Comma means two variables are residing in this house, I and j. So in order to initialize both, this is the syntax of simultaneous for loops, that you have to put a comma and see that where your j is starting from, it is starting from 1. Where it is going to, it is going to 5. See my cursor, right? It is also going to 1 to 5. So how do you do is this? J is initialized with 1. What I did, j I initialized with 1. In this house, in the second house, see my cursor, in this house, what I'll do, what condition I'll write for j? I put a comma and I'll write j less than equal to 5, because j is also going from 1 to 5. Okay, second house is also shared by two variables. First part of the house is also shared by two variables. Now what about this third part of the house? Again do the same thing. Put a comma, write j plus plus, write j plus plus. Got it? And then reduce the spaces. because this extra spaces will look very bad, like it does not look much readable code. Just I have given spaces to show you that there are three houses, right? Okay, now what is the next step? Start curly braces as usual. Here you started now. In line number 13 and line number 16, you started curly braces. Line 14 and line 16, right? Start a curly braces. I already started. Okay. Then write statements. Earlier, what you was doing? See out I. You were just printing this variable. You are just printing this I variable, but now you cannot forget the fact that you have taken two variables. So print J as well. How to print J? Okay, let me show you something. I think it is left on the first day. So I'll tell you something. Suppose I want to print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suppose I want to print these five numbers in a single line. How do I do that? I'll write C out less than, right? It means left shift. These two operators provided by STD. This STD I told you no on the first day, right? Okay. You will write 1, then you will again write this left shift. Write 2, again left shift. Write 3, left shift. Write a 4, left shift. Write a 5, left shift. Then a end line. So these 1, 2, 3, 4 will be printed in the single line. But it will look very bad. Let me show you how it will look. Why I am teaching you this see out? Because it is requiring in here. So I am telling you as a prerequisite, right? So let us see how it will be showing to you, how it will look like. Oh, it is look like very sticky, like all the numbers are very attached to each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is appearing like this. It is a one number that is of 5 digits, but it is not a one number. They are five numbers. So in order to make them pretty, what you can do is, in order to make them pretty, what you can do is, okay. So what do you do? Just put like this. Okay, I told you na, whatever you will write, I told you earlier, whatever you will write in this parenthesis, this parenthesis, it will be printed. Even you will be like, no, nothing is written inside these parentheses. Then what will be printed? Space will be printed, right? C++ language also considers space as the input given, right? Okay, so see, space is printed, but it is not visible to you. Let me show you this. Suppose I am writing something like JJJ. See the output screen. Yeah, it has considered some space here. See my cursor, space here, and then it started printing this J. So, if you want to very nicely, very neatly print these five numbers, what you will do? What you will do? Tell me quickly. Write this space, maintain this space, one line space, or suppose I have to give 2, 2, 3 line space. Do like this, right? Do like this, do like this, do like this, right? Do like this, right? Spaces are also in between these left shift operators because they are considered very valid. They are given equal preference as any text written, right? Okay, cool. Now let us see the output, what it will give you, right? Okay. Okay, nice. Oh, it is now appearing separate. It is clearly visible that there are five numbers with these spaces, right? So it is clearly visible that there are five numbers with these spaces. One other way is there to write the C out 1 and L, right? C out 2 and L, right? Okay. One sec, one sec. Okay. So again do a C out 3 and L. Again do a C out 4 and L. This is the way to print multiple variables neatly, right? Neatly. So this will be this thing I'll be using here for printing IJ. That's why I told you this thing, right? Okay. So see, it is printing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in separate lines. So I hope this is clear how to print multiple things. Okay, I told you this because we will be using it to print IJ variables, right? So let me uncomment this. Okay, so earlier you used to print just I variable. Now We are not just printing alone I variable, we are also considering this j. See this j, you have initialized two variable now. Oh, let me uncomment this as well, right? What is happening, man? Okay. Yeah. So let me uncomment this. Okay. So how will you do it? It is your choice. Either write this I and J in the separate line, it's your choice, right? Let me print this and show you something. Then we will modify something out of it. Oh, it is getting like this. Now are you getting familiarity? Who is j, who is I? I'm not getting, like, I'm a programmer, but I'm not understanding this output. It is like 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5 6 6. What is this? Like, what is this? I'm not getting any clarity. Where is I, where is j? This is not a valid way, right? Although you can do like this in separate lines, but it is not giving you clarity. So you have to see what kind of output you want. Accordingly, write the cout statements, right? Here, see my output. I want to get a structure like this, where I and j is in one line with a space of one block. See, there is a space of one block. How you print is also very important. It is very important how you print things, right? So it is a one liner space, and above it, this is written ij. Exactly this I want to print. Will I do it? How will I do it? So firstly, I'll write I because I want this. Then I'll maintain a space which is given preference. Okay, I printed space. You will see like there is nothing, but there is a space. So in order to print something, you write something in this parenthesis. But in order to print space, you also write in parenthesis, right? It will give one space. J, okay, I printed I have given a space, then I printed J. See my output, it is exactly appearing like this. Then in the next line, I wrote 1 1 2 2 3 3. So given end line, because in the next line, you will continue the rest of the things, rest of the pattern, right? Okay. So how will you print 1 1 2 2? See out, see out. Okay, so you have to write this in parenthesis. Why? Because if you will print like I, simple I, if you print like this, na, it will not give you I. It will give you value of I, that is 1. I told you, na, when you have to hardcode something, use parenthesis to write it. Okay, so, okay. Now maintain a space. One liner space, print J, because this time you want to print the value of I, right? Here you hard coded ij, but here you are printing value of ij. That's why without parenthesis. Without parenthesis, right? Without parenthesis. Okay. Okay. This is enough. Now you will be like, okay, ma'am, you have just one time written this. We have to write this 5 times. 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5. And I'll be like, students, you are in a loop automatically prints that for you. Loop automatically prints that for you. I will explain you very nicely more examples with this for loop. Okay, don't worry, just give me a thumbs up in your mind if you have clear with this concept. Let us print this, right? Let us print this. See the pattern. Is it appearing similarly like I have expected? Yeah, it is appearing same. One issue is there, again and again this ing is getting printed. I did this purposely so that I can show you that what to write inside the loop, what to write outside the loop. See, this 1 1, this 2 2 are again and again getting printed. That's why you are looping, you are writing inside the loop. But this ij is not, you have to print again and again. It is printed one time only. That's why put it outside the loop. Okay, put it outside the loop like this, right? Like this. Delete it from here. Now see the pattern and tell me if you are clear. Okay. See, the pattern is like, firstly ij is printed, then 1 1, a 2 2, 334455, right? You have printed like this, right? Okay, we got the expected result. It means expected and actual results are same. Okay, that thing which you want to print one time, put it outside, and rest of the things put inside the loop. Suppose I am writing here Sonia. Suppose I am writing here Sonia. It will be printed again and again. It will be printed again and again. Loop does like this. Whatever is written inside it is printed again and again. Initially ing are printed outside one time because they were outside the loop, then 1 1, next line Sonia, then again 2 2 Sonia, 3 3 Sonia, 4 4 Sonia, like that, right? So let me raise it off because this line is of no use. Okay, like, are you clear with the syntax? Have you got the syntax very nicely? Okay, so let me write the basic syntax of this loop as well. I request you to note down this to your copies, and every time you have to follow this, right? What was the basic syntax of simple for loop? Tell me quickly. Firstly, firstly, defining a variable. Secondly, starting writing a for keyword. Then initialization, then condition, then unary operators, right? Then curly braces, then print statements, right? Okay, this was the basic syntax of a single for loop. Simultaneous for loop basic syntax is, note down carefully, right? See carefully. Just I'll modify this one. This is the basic thing you have to remember, right? So basic syntax for loop with two variables, right? So int I, int j, define two variables. Defining, like, you know what is the let me raise it off, it will confuse you otherwise. It is covering more part of our editor, right? Okay, do you know what is the difference between this syntax and this syntax? Here you are doing everything for one variable, here you will do everything for two variable. Here you are defining one time, here you define ith variable, define ith variable. You're doing everything two times, defining jth variable, right? Okay, this step is completed. Now what next? Write for loop, write for keyword, open the round parenthesis, right? Open the round parenthesis, like here you opened a house for here na, round parenthesis here. So what will you write here for two variables? What will you write? Tell me quickly. For two variables, initialization, this is the syntax, this is not actual, this is the syntax to learn. You have to write a code like this. This is just to learn that syntax is like this. Initialization of ith variable. Okay, I'm simply writing initialization of I, otherwise it will move out of the editor, then we have to scroll here, right? It will move out of the screen if the line is got completed. Okay, to the rightmost, right? Initialization of I, comma, initialization of j. I did exactly same na? Initialization of I, see my cursor on the 11th line? Initialization of I, comma, see this comma, it is very important, comma, initialization of j. See, I have written the same, initialization of I, a comma, and initialization of j. Then what I did? See here, I put a semicolon to partition the house. Semicolon. Then what I did? Written condition for two variables. So how will you write it? Condition for I, comma, condition for j. Condition for j. See here. Here you wrote condition, but here you will write for two persons. Condition for I, condition for j. Everything you did one time, you will be doing here two times. This is a simultaneous loop, right? Okay. Now what is the third house? Put a semicolon. What is the third house? Unary operator. How will you write it here? Unary operator, I am writing OPR. Okay, unary operator for I, comma, unary OPR for J. See, it moved out of the screen. Now it becomes a scroll bar. That's why I am writing these small terms, right? No issues. Okay. Now you put a let me small do make it small so that you can see things clearly. Otherwise, this curly braces will move out of the screen and you will not notice it. Okay. Right. Then open the curly braces like this. Then initially what I was doing, print statement, just written print statement, but here I will write print statement for I and print statement for J. See, just compare what is the difference between the for loop you learned earlier. What is the difference between this? No difference. Literally, I made this so easy for you guys that there is no difference. Whatever you was doing for one variable, you are just doing for two variables. For two variables. Got it? Yes. You were doing for one variable and you did for two variables here. Got it? Got it? Okay. Maximum two variables are enough. As much as you can for your own learning and practice, you can take five variables, six variables, but there is no use of taking more and more variables. Maximum two are utilized when you will code. Okay, that's why I taught you with two, right? Okay, if you are comfortable with this, let me quickly give you four scenarios, four use cases of this. Let us, not me only, let us print four type of patterns with this simultaneous for loop. Shall we proceed? Okay, shall we proceed? Yes. I am hoping that you are now clear with the syntax of this. One use case, one pattern. I have shown you how to print it, but there are four types of patterns. Four types of patterns. Shall we proceed? Okay, let us proceed. Let us proceed. Let me erase it off so that we can utilize the screen in a more good way, right? Okay. So let me erase it off. Okay. Pattern 1. Pattern 1 in loops with two variables, right? Okay, first is when both I and J are moving from low to high. What I wrote, when both I and J are incrementing in nature. Incrementing in nature. Incrementing in nature. Suppose you want to print, suppose example, this we will implement, right? Suppose you want to print this I and J, both are in incrementing nature. 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, okay, 4, 4, etc. I am writing etc here, okay, etc. So this pattern I have already shown you, this pattern I have shown you previously. Just now, just 2 minutes ago. But we will be doing it again, right? And you will be recalling all the things in your mind that I have taught you. So this pattern I want to print for you. Why I'm saying this is incrementing in nature, because both I and J are simultaneously moving from 0 to 4 and 0 to 4. Both are incrementing in nature. You're going from 0 to 4. That's why. So I'll be quickly writing it up because you are now familiar. I assume that you're now familiar with the syntax, right? Int I'll speak and type. Just pay attention, right? Int I defined J, right? I wrote four keyword. I opened a house in terms of round parentheses, round brackets actually. I wrote I starts from 0 and comma J starts from 0, because in my pattern I is also starting from 0, J is also starting from 0. Now put a semicolon. I will go from 0 to 4 less than equal to 4, comma j will also go from less than equal to 4. I will also increment by 1, j will also increment by 1, right? We will also be discussing when these are not incrementing by 1. Someone is going very fast, someone is going very low. We will also discuss that. Don't worry, right? Okay. Now, write a print statement outside I space j and an endl, right? Okay. And inside this, write I space j. It is not compulsory for you to every time write this space. You might also put a comma here. It will also look beautiful. Let me run this code. Oh, some issue hoga. Yeah, by mistake I put a semicolon here. Comma should be here, right? Semicolon is when you partition this round braces into three parts, right? See, is this output matching my this pattern? Are you agreeing with this fact? Yes. Okay. Now, what if both the loops are moving from, see my cursor, I'm changing something in the line number 9. When my both variables are moving from high to low, yes, high to low, high to low. It means they are decrementing in nature. Both are decrementing in nature. Both are decrementing in nature, right? Okay. So instead of going from 0 0 to 4 4, they are going like this. See what I'm changing: 4 4 3 3 2 2 1 1 0 0 0 0. So instead of going from 0 to 4, both are going from 4 to 0. How will you, like, what change will you make in this code? Can you guys think out for some seconds? 4 to 5 seconds? Like, what change can you make here? Think quickly, think quickly. What change can you make here? You will, okay, is there anything wrong with this line? No, there is nothing wrong because you just defined. So there is no change with line number 11, right? Are you doing some change with line number 12? No, you just defined. Any change here? No, because I and j somehow we have to write. There is change between line number 14 to 16. I is not starting from 0, my friend, anymore. It is starting from 4. So so delete this 0 and write a 4. See this change. I made a change here. J is also not starting from 0. It is starting from 4. Right? What will you write here? Less than equal to or greater than equal to? Because this will never work. Suppose I am writing 0 0 here. This will not work. Less than equal to is when you are incrementing, because you started from something low, you want to go to something high. That's why you use a less than equal to, because 0 is less than equal to 10. For decrementing, you always have to write greater than equal to. Otherwise, it will give you some error for invalid input, right? So you started from 4. Where you have to go? You have to go to 0. So you will write I I greater than equal to 0. While I is greater than 0, I will keep running this loop. When it is 4, I is greater than 0. When it is 3, I is greater than 0. When I is 2, it is greater than 0. When I is 1, it is greater than 0 0. When I is 0, it is greater than equal to 0. I told you, no, equal to is there, that's why it is accepted, right? J for j also greater than equal to 0. Now what will you do in this unary operator term? You will write a post decrement, because you are moving from high to low, decrementing in nature, that's why, right? J minus minus. See this loop, how will it will work? Okay, I have to write a comma here. Yeah, this semicolon, comma, and semicolon, comma sometimes confuses, right? See, 4 4 3 3 2 2. So this loop, both the simultaneous loops, both the variables are decrementing in nature, that's why, right? Both are decrementing in nature. Got it? Like, if you need a dry run for this loop, I can also do that, but I don't think like it is very difficult. I have made this for you, like, I have explained so clearly that I am assuming that you are now very comfortable with how it is working. See, Okay, let me zoom it up and see my cursor, how this loop will work. See my cursor, right? See my cursor. Let me first show you the dry run quickly, or 1 minute dry run for single for loop. For single for loop, let me do a dry run for single for loop. Suppose I'm writing something like quickly I'm writing, right? Because every time I have to make you understand the this for loop, double for loop, this two variable for loop, I have to make you some practical experiment with, make you something realize with this single for loop. See carefully. Condition less than equal to 10. I plus plus. I'm writing C out of I. See how fast I'm coding. You will me doing that as well. Right. Okay. So firstly, this line turns for one time. Okay. This is just defining. See my cursor and see the movement, how this loop will get printed. I'll write here also the output, right? Okay. Firstly, when you will enter this house, you will be here. It means initialization part. You have initialized with 0. Okay. Then from this house, you move to this house. See, if 0 is less than equal to 10. See, if 0 is less than equal to 10. Then you will enter this curly braces and print this. See, I print this. I printed a 0 in the line number 21 again. Okay. Then it will increment this. Then it will increment this. It becomes 1. Now it become 1. See, I'm changing the loop. It become 1. Now again it will check. If it is less than equal to 10, yes. Print it. See, I'll be moving cursor fast. Don't miss it, okay? Then again increment this. Then it make it a 2. Then again condition check. Again a print statement. Again increment it. It becomes 3. It becomes 3. I'm very fast doing it. See, it become 3. Again it is checked. Again it is moved and printed. Again it is incremented. So it is happening like this. See, I'm writing some number. First, this will happen. Second, this will happen. Third, this will happen. Third, this will happen. And a fourth, this will happen. See how beautifully I mentioned it in number. This is the first step. This is the second step. This is the third step. This is the fourth step. This is how a single for loop works. Now, what is the case with for loop with two variables? Let us see quickly, okay? I hope you understood the running of this single for loop. Now see what will happen here. See what will happen here. Let me uncomment it, right? Okay. This will happen one time. This will happen one time. This will happen one time because they're outside the loop. Outside the loop, things will happen one time. Okay. Now see carefully. See carefully what will happen. I is initialized with 4. J is initialized with 4. I checked if it is greater than 0. J is greater than 0. Both are checked simultaneously. Then we move inside this curly braces. Just remember the thing I explained you in the single for loop. How I explained this, like what will happen when. Same way I'm doing the things, but I'm doing for two persons, right? I will be initialized. J will be initialized. I will be checked. J will be checked. We will move inside this. Okay, we will move inside this. We will print 4 and 4. And then we will do a decrement. This I will become 3. This j will become 3. We will check it. It is greater than 0. Greater than 0. Move inside this loop. Print it because they are instructing to print this. Then again decrement. By decrementing 3, you will get a 2. Why I'm saying it two times? Because one time I'm saying for I, one time I'm saying for j. Okay. Then again check for I, check for j. Move inside the loop. Print it. 2. Then again decrement it. It will become 1. It will become 1. Okay, again check it. Move inside the loop. Print it. Then again decrement it. Then again it becomes 0. Check it. Condition true. Move inside. When the condition will be true, move inside. Print it. Then decrement it. See the climax now. Okay, it will become minus 1 minus 1. See the condition, I is not anymore greater than equal to 0, j is not anymore greater than equal to 0. We will break out of the loop and we will be left with this output. I am very sure by now that you will be very much clear with the dry run of this for loop, because I have moved my cursor from every phase of this code to every part of this for loop, right? Okay, now it is clear. Okay, so let me note down in your notebooks. I am writing some numbering. Okay, first this will happen. Second, this will happen. Because there earlier what was happening? Earlier what was happening? See carefully for this single for loop. Oh, it's my bad that I am erasing it again and again, then I require it again. So let me quickly write it. Yes, I am done, right? So what was happening here? Firstly, this is happening. Second, this is happening. Third, this is happening. Sorry, third, this is happening. Print statement, right? And fourth, this is happening. This is how it is working. First this, second this, then print statement. If condition is true, then here, right? Okay, here, as two variables are there, so instead of four numbers we will be having eight numbers total, because there are two variables. So firstly you will initialize I, you will initialize j, then you will check for I, then you will check for j, then you will move inside this print statement, you will print for this I, you will print for this sixth step for printing j, then you will here decrement this I and decrement this j. See how beautifully I wrote numbers. What will happen when? Note down this. This is very precious. This is very precious content for you every time when you will code a simultaneous loop. Okay, see this, see this is first, this is second. Number shows that this will happen first time, then this will happen. This 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 it shows you what will execute when, right? What will execute when. Compare this single for loop and this for loop with two variables, you will realize what is the difference. Difference is that here we will doing things for one variable, here we are doing things for two variables. That's why the numbers are from here the range is 1 to 4 steps, here 1 to 8 steps. Okay, 4 into 2 because for two variables, right? I hope by now that these things, these concepts are clear to you. I am very sure you will do for that loop which is when one is incrementing in nature, one is decrementing in nature. Let me show you one, and another one is a homework for you guys, right? Let me show you one. Another one will be a homework for you from my side. From my side, right? Let me comment this off. Okay. Let me move it down. Okay. To empty the space, right? So now third pattern. Two pattern I explained, incrementing when both are decrementing. I will show you third pattern by dry running and everything. It is your responsibility to try fourth pattern with by your own, right? Homework is there, right? Okay. Pattern 3 is when both high and j are moving from this is low to high, right? Okay. Third pattern is when one is decrementing in nature, when one is decrementing in nature and other one is incrementing in nature. Yes, my dear child. Yes, incrementing in nature. Yes, my students, right? Okay, incrementing in nature. So again I am defining two variables, again the same thing happening, right? Using for keyword, creating this house by round braces. Okay, okay, what I have to do, you will tell, you will think in your mind what will happen now. Partition this house by putting semicolons. Okay, there are three parts of this house. What will happen here? Suppose I'll give you a pattern, so you have to print like this. How will you do this? You have to print something like this. First is decrementing in nature, you have to print something like this. Be carefully, you have to print something like this. This is 2, this is 2, this is 1, this is 3, this is 0, this is 4. See, one is I is decrementing 4 to 0 and this is 0 to 4. How will you do it? Initialize I with 4 comma, initialize j with 0. Then in the other house, I greater than equal to 0 because it is decrementing in nature, comma, j less than equal to yes because it is incrementing, right? Okay, I is decrementing, do I minus minus, comma, j is incrementing, do a j plus plus, right? Open the curly braces, write c out I space j, endl, endl, okay? And on the top write c out of I space j, okay, one time because you have to just print it one time. Let me execute this code and see what will happen. Wow, it is giving me the desired output, man. It is giving me the desired output. Okay, one thing I did again, I did again the same mistake. I have to hard code it. This is small error. These are the small errors that you will also do when you will code, right? I have to hard code it, otherwise it will print the value. Okay, let us see what it will give. Otherwise, the pattern was correct, right? IJ. Pattern was 4031221 is decrementing, another one is incrementing. Same way, your homework is to make this I incrementing in nature. This is your homework I am writing above, right? Incrementing, right. Incrementing in nature, and then second one is decrementing in nature, decrementing, right? Decrementing in nature. This is your homework. Okay, let me write it, let me write it here, capital letter, so that you can pay attention to this, right? This is your homework, this is your homework. First you will increment it, second you will decrement it, okay? Okay, now, one thing I would like to show you guys. One thing I would like to show you guys. Let me erase this. Let me not erase it. Let me recall you for the first pattern what we did. When we did both incrementing, I want to show you something, right? A small thing, a 30 seconds thing, but I want to show you something very crucial, right? Okay. Right. So this pattern, when I discuss this pattern, suppose this is like this. I initialize to 0, j is to 0, I is less than equal to 4, j is less than equal to 4, I plus plus. This was the code for this, no? This was the code for this kind of pattern, okay? This was the code. Now suppose I have not initialized this I wrote I comma j is equal to 0. Earlier it was I equal to 0 comma j is equal to 0, but now I am not initializing this I. See what will happen, and verify it in your mind, like how it goes. Woo! What just happened? What just happened? What just happened? The pattern is 0011223344. See the output. But I have not initialized my I with 0. I have not initialized my I with 0. Then who gave this 0 to my I? This is known as by default. Something that happens automatically. Something that happens that your computer, laptop, desktop, whatever it is, do automatically. Automatically is coined as a term by default. By default. By default, numbering in computer starts from 0, 0, 1, 2, like that. That's why by default it gave it 0. I know you have not initialized it with 0, but it still gave it 0. Okay, it gave it 0 by default. Suppose you have not initialized this j. What will happen? You have not initialized this I. You have not initialized this j. What will happen now? See. Cool. Cool. What it is giving you? See what happened. See what happened. When you have not initialized I, it gave it 0. Now the thing is, you have not initialized I and not initialized j. What will happen? I told you the numbering in computer starts from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Like etc. So when you're not initializing something, this is the first value of computer. This will be given to the first variable. I will be initialized automatically or by default by 0. Then there is some other variable j which you have not initialized. this will be getting initialized with 1 because the second number is 1. Computer by default does that. Suppose there is a third variable also int k. Let us see if it is having let me do a third three variable thing. Don't get confused yourself by this. This is not of use. Third variable are not used anywhere. Just two variables are enough. But I am showing you something. Okay, that's why I am doing it. Okay, let me first comment out this and then show you something. Let us see the output. Let us see the output. Oh, it is printing this only because why? Because I have not mentioned here k. I have to print for k also, no? Let us see what will happen. Let us see what will happen. Whoo! It is again doing it by 0. So it means it is not giving it any more number 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. It will give it 0 only. So it is valid up to 0 and 1, right? These three variable loop is not used very much in real life. So this is don't get confused yourself confused by this thing. Just I want to show you if it will give it value 2 or it will again initialize it with 0. So we what we have seen, suppose if you have four variables I j k l, so it will initialize it with 0 by default, it by 1, again it by 0, again it by 1. It will not do like this 0 1 2 3 like, right? We just observe. So suppose you have not initialized this I, it initialize it by default with 0. Suppose you have not initialized with j, initialize j with 0, it initialize it by default with 1. Okay? This happens like this. This happens when you're not initializing something. This happens when you are not initializing something. When you're not initializing something, right? Okay. Are you clear with this thing? This is a small thing that I wanted to tell you. What if when you're not initializing anything? What if when you're not initializing anything? Right? Okay. Cool, cool. Super cool. Okay. So now you're asking me, okay, there is another homework for you before proceeding to the next topic. Next topic will not take much time. We will be winding it up very quickly, right? Homework. This is homework 2 for you. I know this homework will be lengthy for you, but the more you practice, the more you will learn, right? Homework 2 will be, see this, what I am writing in this homework 2. See carefully. Whatever I did with for loop using two variables, whatever I did with for loop using two variables I and j, you have to do the same with while loop, right? Okay, whatever I did with for loop using two variables, same way you have to do with while loop. There is no difficulty. I hope there will be not any difficulty. The syntax is same. Just mind this thing in your mind, like just uh people used to say no, don't mind, but I am saying you mind this thing in your mind, right? What? It is same students, it is same. Whatever you did for while loop with one variable, you just have to do it for two variables. You want me to give you some hint? Okay, so in while loop what you did, initializing variable, writing while, then opening this, then writing condition less than equal to 10, then using cout I handle, then doing I plus plus. This you did now. Okay, how will you tackle this for two variables? Initialize I, sorry, define I, define j, while what will you will write in this house? Condition for one is written, what you will do? Condition for two will you will write less than equal to 10. Okay, comma j less than equal to 10. Open this. Earlier you used to print for I. Now what you will do? Print for I as well as j. Print for I as well as j. Now earlier you used to increment just one. Now what will you be doing? What you will be doing? Increment for I as well as j. Right? This is the syntax. Now let me erase it off very quickly, otherwise you won't cheat. So this is your homework, right? Do whatever I did with for loop using two variables, you have to do the same with while loop. Clear this thing? Clear this thing? Right. Okay, guys. Okay. Now I want to show you something quickly. Just pay attention to this and then we will be winding up the session, right? Okay. So uh, okay. One loop is large, and another loop is small. Okay, or vice versa. What do you mean by vice versa? It means vice versa means one loop can be small, another one can be large. This is vice versa. What will happen for with this? Another the same thing will be happen for vice versa case. This will also be, I'll be giving you homework. 3 homework you have got by now, right? Do it. Okay, I'll teach you with this. Just do this with opposite. What opposite? What opposite? One loop is small and other one is large, right? Okay. Okay, cool. This is gonna be same. Don't take it as very typical home, right? Okay. Suppose I variable is going from 0 to 10, right? 0 to 10. J is going from 0 to 5. What will happen? What will happen? What will happen? One is going from 0 to 10, one is going from 0 to 5. It means this will tackle range from 0 to 10. This will tackle 5 elements. This will tackle 10 elements. This will tackle 10 elements. Elements, right? Elements. This will tackle 5 elements. 5 elements. What will happen now? Thought about it. Think about it. Think about it. What will happen? What will happen? Let me show you. Okay. What will happen? Let me comment this out. Let me comment this off and show you what will happen. Okay. 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 Initialize I with define I, define J. Write 4 keyword, print the house, do 3 partitions, right? Okay. Cool. Cool. Open curly braces. This is a syntax now. Okay. Now, suppose you have to print I from 0 to 10. So what you will write? I is equal to 0, comma, J is equal to 0 because both are starting from the 0. But they are going to different numbers, right? Okay. In the second house, I is going to less than equal to 10, comma, J is going to less than equal to 5. They're not going to 10. One is ending very fast, one is stretching itself to more elements. It is stretching itself to 4 elements. Okay. Okay. So now incremented by 1, comma, incremented by 1, right? Okay. You're doing like this, na? 0 to 10, 0 to 5. And I told you earlier also, it is not very compulsory to increment it by 1, 1 every time. You can do like this, j plus equals to 2. But in order to make you understand, you can play anyhow with this for loop, right? It is not a compulsion that you are bound to doing this only, right? Play with it, experiment with it, right? Okay. See out, I space, see out, J, endl. Same syntax, I am not doing anything. I space, J. See, I am not doing anything. I am not doing anything, right? The same syntax, the same way I taught you, right? Okay. Now, let me run this off and see how this will behave. Okay. Let me comment this out also. Otherwise, it will consider, compiler will think this is a valuable statement. But this is just a comment out. Whoa! What just happened? What just happened? Who trimmed my ith loop? Okay, J is going from 0 to 5. But I should go from 0 to 10 now. I should go from 0 to 10. Because, why I should go from 0 to 10? Why I should go from 0 to 10? Because I initialized my I to 0 and I made it to go to 10. It got trimmed off, right? It got trimmed off. Now let us take another scenario. I'll explain you this. Don't worry. I'm taking another scenario, like moving one to smaller and another to larger. See what will happen. Ooh, what just happened? Like, I'm not understanding what will happen. Like, what happened? Like, by this nature, it seems like it is dependent upon J from where it will go. It is appearing like J will decide where it will go. Here, J is deciding. If J is small, it is going, I is also going to small value, that is to 5. And if J is large, I is incrementing itself. Like, I is changing its behavior with respect to this J. When I was going to 10, J was going to 5, then I also have gone to 5 instead of going to 10, because J finished earlier, I finished earlier. See, J finished earlier, so I finished earlier. I finished earlier. See, this has happened now. See, again, see. I going to 10, J going to 5. See what will happen. J finish earlier with 5 elements. I will also finish earlier. Oh, this is comment out. Yeah, I had to do a comment out this thing. Okay. See, J finished earlier, so I finished earlier. And if I give my J as 5, I as 5 and J as 10, then see what will happen. See what will happen. Then I'll write a line for this activity. See, J was going to 10. I stretched itself. See, when I was given J, like when J was given the value 10, J goes to 10, and I stretched itself to go to 10, right? When J goes to 10, I was supposed to go to 5 only, because the condition was like this. But J goes to 10 and I stretched itself to go to 10. Can I show you the dry run of this code? Can I show you the dry run for this code? How it happened? Happened? Let us see. And one thing is homework for you. I am showing you something like when I is going to 5 and J is going to 10. How I stretched itself. How I stretched itself. Your homework is make I go to 10, J go to 5. Okay, make I go to 10, J I go to 5. Then see what will happen. I will show you this thing. When I is going to 5, J is going to 10, I stretched itself to go beyond 5 to equalize with J. See how it happened. See the dry run very carefully, guys. Very carefully, right? This was your I, this was your J. See very carefully what I'll show you. I'll move my cursor, see the movement. I initialize to 1. Let me write the steps as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, right? Okay, see carefully. I is initialized to 0, J is initialized to 0. I is checked for the condition less than equal to 5, J is less than equal to 10. Printed these elements. I printed 0 and I printed 0 for J. I got incremented, J got incremented. I turns to 1, J turns to 1. Again check the condition, right? Then enter this loop, print it guys, print it 1 1. Then increment it. See my cursor, increment it. After incrementing, it will become 2. It will become 2. Check the condition. It is matching for I. It is matching for J. Move inside. Print these elements. 2 2. Increment it. See, I'm showing you very carefully and clearly. I hope you are getting this, right? I incremented J to 3, I to 3, right? Or vice versa, I to 3, J to 3. See the condition. It is passing these conditions. Move inside. Print those elements. Increment this I, increment this J, right? See the transition point when I will override this 5 and go beyond 5 for the sake of matching with J. it turns to be 4. I less than equal to 4, j less than equal to 4. Move inside the loop, print it. 4, 4. Increment this I, it will become 5. Increment this j, it will become 5. Right? Let me comment it off. Yeah. It is becoming 5. So these conditions are matching. 5 is less than equal to 5. J is also 5, which is less than equal to 10. Move inside it. Move inside it. Print it. 5, 5. Increment this I. Now see what will happen. The main twist, the main climax of the picture is here. J plus plus. Right. Okay. 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 See carefully. See carefully. I already told you when some condition fail, you will move out of the loop. What I told you. When the condition will fail, you will move out of the loop. I equal to 6, j equal to 6. Check. I less than equal to 5. This condition failed. But you will not come out of the loop because after step 3, there is a step 4, which is j less than equal to 10. You know what this comma stands for? This stands for OR operator. This comma stands for OR operator. It means one of the condition is true, we will not move out of the loop. When one of the condition, any one of the condition is true, we will not move out of the loop. We will still continue, right? I is not less than equal to 5, but j is less than equal to 10. 6 is less than equal to 10. That's why we again move inside. We again move inside and print 6, 6. Then again increment it. Again increment it. I will become 7. J will also become 7. It is again breaking the video. It is again breaking this condition, right? But it is following this condition. Any one of the condition is followed, right? Move inside the loop. Print it. Print it, right? Okay. Again increment it. Again increment it. It will become 8. It will become 8, right? It will become 8. Again check the condition. It is still failing, but this condition is passing. Move inside the loop. So you will continue and you will do like this. You will do like this. 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, right? 10, 10. This is the output for the above procedure. I have shown you each and everything very clearly that I am hoping that you are very much clear with this. See, but you're not satisfied with this loop. You are saying like it is not following what I supposed to make it follow. You are very disappointed by this loop and you're saying this is the last part that I'm telling and will be winding up the video, right? Okay. You are very disappointed. You're saying, yeah, how it happened? I made my I to move from 0 to 5. I made my j to move from 0 to 10. My I is also moving to 5. I'm not happy with it. I want my loop to break at 5. So what you will do? Give a AND operator here. Give a AND operator here because AND operator will consider both the conditions. This AND operator will consider both the conditions. Okay. If take the scenario when I became your 6 and j became your 6. Now what will happen? See the behavior. It will check I is not less than equal to 5 and j is also not less than, j is less than equal to 10, but j is less than equal to 10. But as you have used an AND operator, then both the conditions should be followed, but just one condition is following. That's why your while loop will break at 5. See the output of this video, sorry, output of this code, right? Again I have to comment out this is very lame to comment out things again and again. Okay. See the solution. See the output screen. Oh, what it gave you. Oh. Sorry. No, there is not anything wrong with my code. There is not anything wrong. I started from 6 now. That's why it happened. I have to start from 0 to 5 and 0 to 10. If for the sake of explaining you, I changed my these variables also just to explain you. That's why it happened, right? See the original code. Cool. It is starting from 0 and breaking at 5. Now it is not considering this jth condition. By default it will consider this j condition only, but when you put a and it will follow both the condition. If both are true, then it will make allow us to go inside this and print these statements, otherwise outside the loop. So I hope students, I have explained you so much of simultaneous for loops, and believe me, these concepts will be used very much in coding because I am still using them. Even I did a question for today where two variables are used like this, right? So that's why I thought of explaining you these concepts. And there will be one more video, one more video will be out on conditional statements and loops, in which I will be explaining you nested conditions, right? Nested for loops and nested while loops. That will be a small topic, but very crucial. That was 100 times more crucial than this part, than what you have learned today, right? So nested for loops and nested while loops we will be covering in the next session. So I hope you will pay attention to these homeworks, try them out, try doing in while loops, everything try doing for incrementing decrementing nature, try doing this vice versa. When one is more expanding, one is less, the range is different. And believe me, you can also, if you have learned this, if you have gained very much knowledge from this video, you can also try out for decrementing nature. More, 80% I have explained you incrementing, 20% decrementing, but you can do like this also. Initialize it with 10, initialize it with 10, it is greater than equal to 5, it is suppose greater than equal to 0, it is I minus minus, comma, j minus minus, right? Run it, what it will give you. It will end at 5. Why? Because you have used a and operator. That's why it ended at 5, because you used a and operator. What if I have used or operator or something like that comma thing? Let us see what will happen. This is a decrementing. Who we are going up to 0, man. But I was supposed to stop my I loop at 5, but it is going at j because it is doing a or between these two. If any one of the condition is true, then 5 will also be stretched from beyond that 5 in a decrementing manner, right? Okay, so I have explained you much in this video. We have covered a lot. I hope you got some knowledge about this. So let me raise it off, right? Okay, hoping that you have gained much knowledge. So okay, this video is up to here only. So okay, thank you guys for your time, and bye bye, work hard, and okay, bye bye, thank you.